Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And whatever happened to the High Republic?
Who knows? It's still there somewhere.
It is. It's kind of lurking about in the shadows. But Star Wars' big announcement today on StarWars.com was that there are new books starring Luke and Lando and Obi-Wan and Anakin, all these classic characters.
So how are they going to ruin them this time?
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure they will too.
They don't even have a cover. They're just like, hey guys, we have classic characters coming back. Classic characters. Interesting because, there was kind of an aversion to Luke Skywalker for a while at Lucasfilm. And now all of a sudden, all this new stuff with Luke and Obi-Wan coming out.
It's almost like when they brought him back at the end of Mandalorian Season 2 and the crowd went wild all over the place. That maybe people like Luke Skywalker, and it was probably a really, really bad idea to do what you did. Might have been.
That might be a data point.
Yeah.
A data point that Bob Chapek's looking at. Now, we did another video talking about how Chapek is making almost all the creative decisions now based on data, sales data.
Imagine that.
And he might be looking at this like, well, original trilogy stuff massively outsells the High Republic and the sequel trilogy stuff.
Does.
They're not even really selling much sequel trilogy merch at all in the parks now. It's almost all original trilogy and Galaxy's Edge. I can almost guarantee you that if Galaxy's Edge was built on Chapek's watch, well, one, it wouldn't have been built because it cost too much.
Yeah.
But two, it would have been original trilogy because that would have been money in the bank.
I agree.
And he's too cheap to revert it to original trilogy.
Even though because it's set up that it could go to the original trilogy, but they won't do that.
Yeah, they absolutely could roll it back, but it would cost another couple $100 million probably to do it. But it could be done. Bob, you might make more money if you did that. Just look at Harry Potter. Just saying. Anyway, this was announced, and now there are rumors that Lucasfilm is going to reimagine the original Star Wars movies as animated movies.
No, that better not be true. There's no point. Just stop.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about all of this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, over 236,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. We do talk about Star Wars and we talk about Disney. Don't talk about Star Wars as much as we used to.
Yeah.
Because people have lost interest. I'm going to be completely honest. They have lost interest in Star Wars.
Well, if they could undo the shit show they started, then people might come back.
They might. And I have to wonder if, look, I'm not singing the praises of Bob Chapek at all, but if he's looking at the numbers and he's looking at what merchandise sells,
what people seem to have interest in,
and he's like, yeah, sequel trilogy stuff not doing well, High Republic not really doing well.
Yeah, the High Republic's really knocking it out of the park.
No, I mean, it's still out there.
No one wants to see a rock be a navigator on a ship and just sit there. Imagine that.
But, Maz Kanata is the big news, I guess, with High Republic. Now, half the books or half the comics are probably going to get canceled because IDW lost a license.
Yeah.
That was interesting. They just Disney just pulled the license from them and said, yep, you're not doing this anymore.
I think Maz was like a last-ditch effort to try to get people connected and interested. But you don't know enough about her from what you saw in the sequel.
No.
To really be that invested in her.
No, nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. But this I thought was interesting because Obi-Wan was actually trending on Twitter.
Well, that's because people are actually excited about the Obi-Wan show.
Yeah.
I think so. Because then they're bringing Anakin into it, too. So now Anakin and Obi-Wan are actually focuses of these books as well.
Yeah. So this is the announcement from Star Wars. New books starring Luke and Lando, Obi-Wan and Anakin, and more revealed. Exclusive. All these new books featuring old characters. So new that we don't even have a cover yet. Just like, hey guys, we're still making books with Luke and Obi-Wan and Anakin and Lando and all these characters you actually give a shit about.
Yeah, come check that out.
Yeah, so Star Wars is thrilled to reveal 4 new books featuring never-before-told tales from across the Star Wars saga. Shadow of the Sith, a novel from author Adam Christopher, takes place after Return of the Jedi and finds Luke and Lando on a mission to locate Exegol. Oh shit, they're gonna tie it into the sequels.
Well, no, I was just thinking they're overriding for sure. They already made it not canon, the Zahn books, but now they're doubling down.
Double down. Of course, we can't just forget the sequels didn't exist. There was a rumor going around for a while that they were just going to pretend the sequels didn't exist.
Oh, I didn't
use
think
time travel to undo it. And
I doubted that. But who knows? You never know. Maybe if they go by data, they'll do that. But I doubt it.
They go by data. Star Wars Brotherhood. By Mike Chen follows Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin amidst the chaos of the Clone Wars. Popular. Again, Clone Wars stuff sold well. The
Clone Wars is very popular.
The toys, Clone Wars actually redeemed the prequels for a lot of people because they're like, okay, these characters are actually good. Let's just have somebody write better stories than what George did, you know. And the Skywalker's Rise to Jedi Knight, Stories of Jedi and Sith, a new middle grade anthology features adventures from 10 acclaimed authors, and the young adult novel Star Wars Padawan by Kirsten White depicts Obi-Wan in his early days as a student of Qui-Gon Jinn. Again, classic characters. Very interesting that they're going back to this, and that's what the big announcement is like, no, we're not doing another High Republic. We're doing a whole bunch of books based on...
Yeah, now they'll find a way to ruin them, I'm sure.
I have no doubt.
Give them time, because I'm sure they will double down on other things, you know, try to make sure they ruin characters in that way.
Yeah, they're going to Exegol, so I have no doubt. I have no doubt that you know, Luke is going to get talking to. He's going to be lectured. We're going to find out why he's such a pussy in the sequels.
Right.
But yeah, it was kind of interesting that is coming out after the rumors that they're going to reimagine the original trilogy.
But they've done this before, though.
They have. People forget this. Yeah, they actually took George Lucas's first draft of Star Wars, which needed work.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like the prequels. That feels like a first draft. Like, okay,
it does.
You've got the beginnings of a good story. Could we make the dialogue a little better, please? Yeah. But they turned it into a comic book series. And it was very, very different from the final Star Wars. But now it sounds like they're going to go back and take the knife to the original trilogy. Now, this isn't going to be like...
I'm sure they're going to ruin it.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure this is going to be like...
Why are you reimagining it? It doesn't need reimagined. Just stop.
So this is a new rumor coming from that hashtag show, Rumor, who claims they're already working on outlines for all three films. They assert that Lucasfilm will reimagine the original trilogy films as animated films based off Ralph McQuarrie's original concept art for the films. It's coming from Bounding in the Comics, by the way. Not only does he claim the films will be reimagined in McQuarrie's style, but he also asserts the films will not be direct animated adaptations, but instead will be based off the original second draft of Star Wars. So they already did the first draft as comic books. So now we got to do the second draft, and we got to make sure that Leia is front and center.
You know what, guys? I'm sorry. This is and then it's unnecessary. I cannot wait until they do a reimagining of the sequel trilogy and they undo everything.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, okay, I can't wait for you to do that.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great. I can't wait for that either.
Yeah.
That'll be fantastic. So currently, writers are writing an outline for all three films that will be familiar to longtime fans, but we'll see some deviations to the story.
Yeah, Leia's going to be the little main character.
Yep.
You watch.
As the basis of these three
and
films.
She won't be white anymore.
Oh my God, you know, I've been joking that they're going to turn Luke Skywalker into a black lesbian in a wheelchair.
There you go.
Now's your chance, Disney. I get paid for that, though. Mm-hmm. I get royalties. I'm going to have to chase you for that.
I'm sure you will. They don't like to pay.
They don't like to pay people.
They owe the money. But you better pay them everything you owe them.
The first animated adaptation will specifically be based off the draft, and Santos says the other two films will blend elements of that second draft while also keeping familiar with regards to what happens in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So it's interesting.
It's going to be the all new, extra diverse Star Wars. That's exactly what it's going to be.
The opening scroll in the draft states the Republic Galactica is dead. Ruthless traitor barons, driven by greed and lust for power, have replaced enlightenment with oppression and rule by the people with the first galactic empire. This sounds like the opening crawl of the prequels. Phantom Menace, kind of like trade disputes on planets that you've never heard of. So yeah, this is the one of George's drafts, and you can tell he took some of that and kind of worked it into the prequels, but he didn't have anybody tapping him on the shoulder and being like, "Hey, George, some of this is really boring." It
was clearly streamlined quite a bit for the original trilogy.
Yeah, well, people were probably looking at like, yeah, this is.
It was boring.
It's boring, like blah 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 backstory. Kind of reminds me of you get these people that write all this backstory for this, comic book or book they're going to write, and they never actually write it. They just spend all their time writing backstory.
Yeah, well, this is, the Empire is crumbling into lawless barbarism. I mean, come on.
Tits and lasers everywhere, guys. Tits and lasers. Oh, that's the title of a comic book.
No, we're not making more titles of comic book.
Cake, bitch, tits and lasers.
What was the other one? Tits, tits, tits. Why do you keep wanting to put tits in comic books?
Because it sells.
That's right.
One thing this Star Wars will not have if they do this, which would be incredibly stupid, but if they do this, won't have more tits, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Unless Luke Skywalker is a black lesbian in a wheelchair. Then Luke will have more tits.
No, because they'll make sure that she's a big black lesbian in a wheelchair, but somehow has no boobs. Because boobs are bad.
That's right. Yeah, it'll be Disney
Every
proportion.
fat person's is pear-shaped.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because if your ass is wide, you don't have boobs.
Yes.
Because all the fat, this is a biological fact according to Twitter, all the fat migrates from your tits into your ass.
That's right. And you're just all pear-shaped with no boobs.
So you heard the song Tits and Ass?
Yeah, it's just
from
it's
Chorus
just
Line
ass
is
now.
Tits in Ass.
Yeah, pretty much now, yeah. Because you can't, if you're big, usually not all women, but most women that are heavier set have bigger boobs. Except according to Twitter, they have no tits and it's all in their ass. And thighs.
I did not know.
Thighs are okay too.
Thighs are okay, yeah. But you have thigh gap even when you weigh 340 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
According to Marvel Comics, that one girl with the backpack.
Oh, that's right, yes.
She had,
Was it Trailblazer?
Trailblazer. She was blazing a trail because I don't know of any girl. So I'm like, if she lost weight.
Her hips are dislocated.
Yeah, she'd be like, you'd be able to like straddle a school bus and ride it like a horse. Because there's so much thigh gap there.
Anyway, they're going to ruin it. Let's just go there and wrap this up. They're going to find a way to F this up. They're going to find a way to wrap this up.
Yeah, I just think it's very, very interesting that they're going back to the original trilogy, probably to completely deface it. But this probably is a Chapek thing.
Yeah, but if you want to make money, don't ruin them.
Yeah, it's like you could do original trilogy there, Bob, but you gotta show some respect. Mm-hmm. And one thing we've seen is that current year Lucasfilm does not have a lot of respect for the original trilogy. Mm-hmm. Look at how they've treated Luke, and they're probably gonna treat him like a joke in this stuff too.
Oh, I'm sure if it's like in those Galaxies and Avengers.
I am sure. So we're gonna wrap this one up.
Yep.
All right, guys. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.